And tell me you there again. What up, son? What you doing today? Let me put a little something on. You know me, I be trying to rock something. Be like, what the hell? This ain't no just straight giveaway, you know? Gotta do something. Represent. Represent to the fullest. Represent to the fullest. Yeah. So what's up, man? I know I called you, but I'd still say what's up. Alright, now I'm back. Maybe you don't know me. You don't know me. Those that did know me didn't know me. Because everybody changed, you know. As you get older, you get wiser. Oh, so it's time to unleash the gathering of information for the betterment of the many, of the all. That meaning that it transcends and elevates beyond human capacity and human thinking. So it's a newness. So it's called a new school. There's a lot of thoughts that was not thought about, was not put down, was not mentioned. So there's a space of learning how to reach this type of thinking. Memory, membrane, activation of the membrane, something like that. Okay, so there. The first thing is reading, planning, studying. So you need to slow your roll, and is a topic is a book by the it's called Pilates and Yoga. Give you a view of the book. And with that right there, you start dealing with the physical, the body. You learn about the body, and you start to calm the body and start to respect the body by using the knowledge, the mental that activates the organ called the brain. And then the brain, it starts to activate and it sends out messages to certain signals in the body, and also receives messages from other places that is called by some the mental place or the mental plane. But this here, Pilates and yoga, will give you a foundation of renewal in a sense of connection with the body. Because many people think that they are the body, but not the body. We're inside the body. And it's so deep, we're inside the body, we're outside the body. And once you see how we transcend and utilize the body, and the sensors to perceive the essence of who we are. And a lot of people are trapped in the body and dependent on those who have put them in captivity. And the captivity is the terminology that they use is capitalistic society. That's the type of society. So within that, we can utilize that type of thinking on a higher frequency and a better reasoning. The reasoning will give you the drive to continue because you have a reason. You see? So if you know the origin and the true purpose of your existence, why are you here? Where are you at? And you start to do the exercises to bring about the memory towards your activation of remembering the times when that you forgot. Amnesia. You know. So this is what we talk about. We talk about this and that. That's already recorded. You already can Google it and you can get that. But that's not where I'm at anymore. I'm at a whole nother place. In a place that I was at before, but I, nudged to do some things toward upliftment of humanity. So with that, now I'm back roller skating. So my first project with that is to put a program of how to grow edibles, how to grow food, vegetables, fruits for the families, the many families. And within that, put in the message of unification as a tribe. We can do that through the cities. So this is St. Anne. So this is the tribe of St. Anne. That's it. We can skip the other stuff and go through that. Now within the tribe of St. Anne, we have diversity of many types of thinking. But those who knows best always lean towards those who can contribute, those who have contributed. What have people contributed? The things that you're not aware of, the things that you don't think about, things you're not privileged to even know about. And that was the issue. The issue was in passing. That's what I am now, in passing. On the journey that I came to do in 1999. So, and then I can recall the facts that before I even got here, and the many people who guided me to get here. That's not here no more. I can say thank you, and I do say I appreciate the information. Me not journeying, leaving BK, between Brooklyn, the born king, right, and not really leaving with knowing that where I was at, I needed more data about what's going on, and not just Hollywood. Already had the people, the presence, you know, the influence, and the bloodline in Hollywood and stuff like that. People that I've been affiliated with, and their 6 degrees of separation, as they call it, or 6 degrees of togetherness, to that we know people all over, and we can figure it out. Especially from New York, a lot of people come through, and people come up to New York from other places. It's all over. So this time now, they reset. It's about the reset. They don't reset the economy. They don't reset the environment. They don't reset the norm, and we on some new and improved and brighter, not better. I don't like to say better because it sounds too close to bitter. You say better, you know. So I say brighter, get you close to the light. Once you're in the light, and the light has 2 sides to it, and one side was considered to be not coherent, disorganized, rowdy, as they would say, disrespectful. And the other one was in compliance, so, and it was a conflict, friction. So see, the main thing is when you talk about peace and harmony, peace and harmony go together. Now peace and war is connected, but you have a separation, and that separation is now that separation is a total disconnection. It don't matter no more what they're talking about. Those people that's not on our frequency. So I reiterate that now, and then I may do it next month or next week. But the point is, we want to do better and improve. So the best thing now, you got the land, you got the property. We're gonna start some programs on it for next year. So you have to have the time to plan in this last quarter, right? October, November, December. It's time to plan for January, February, March, April, May, June, and then July, August, September, and then it goes again. And with the cycle of farming or growing, vegetation, food, you know, herbs, spices, they call them herbs, cabbage, potatoes, onions, beets, things that's what they call superfoods, greens, collard greens, mustard greens, kale, things of that nature. Just all natural. From eating off the land. You know, and trying to stay away from poultry, which is meat. What they call it poultry. I'm not gonna argue about that. And the beef, the pork, the lamb, the goat. We're gonna leave them people alone. These are people. They have a right to live in this space for them to, you know. Now, the way life is now, I'm not gonna argue with it. We can maintain it as we always should have been, but life is changing, and there's certain things that I've accepted, and in appreciation, I've utilized in other conducts and trends and things like that. It's not for, it's not what I need for my purpose, you know, for the situation that the, the hand that I was dealt. So with that being said, it's a wonderful world. How about that? How about that one? It's a wonderful world. Yeah. We got the Pilates book. You get it. I'm not gonna sit here and advertise it, but that's something that is part of the wellness of health. I forgot what the CIA meant already. I should have wrote it down. That's when certain things you don't have to do it like that. But health. I know it's Christ Money Ministry because it just sounds good. And then I could put Day of Christ Money Ministry. I like that too because that Day is the hand of God. Christ means something special, out of the ordinary. Is a Latin word. It's Christos. Christos. So those are the people that was chosen. They were given. That's where they got Marvel and X-Men and all these comics from the cosmos. Comics. They had another thing too from the regional land, cartoon. That's in Sudan, one of the firm strongholds, of originality that they try to wipe away. Many reasons why they try to change history. That was just something that it was normal. It wasn't something that they said, well, we're gonna change history. That's the way it was. But the today, the reason why they say people did this and people did this and people did that, and it's totally different. It's totally different than the true reason they lie. And these when people lie like that, we say they cover the truth. They cover up the truth. So they call them a coverer of truth. They say kafirun, 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 cover of truth. So we say, oh, he's a kafir, and that's short for kafirun. So and that's with the knowledge of those who lived this, and they wasn't here in America. They was overseas in what they call the East. like Palestine, Pakistan, Iran, you know, they had a different and same from the same bloodline. It's called Abraham. That's what everybody peek out at the top. Abraham, and then it goes from Abraham forward. It goes to Moses. You know, it goes to Adam. You know, like that. So, but Abraham's the man, and his children, and from his children came humanity. See, I mean, humanity came from Adam and Eve, as it said in the book. And this is the explanation that is given to humans. This is not the angelic tribe story. This is the story that was made up by man so he can be a better person as a human being. This is not for those who want to travel the galaxy and claim their rightful position as etheric, which is falsely called energy, or the energy, but energy, like electricity, other forms, vibrational life. So yeah, so I'm glad we got this to this part in Pilates and yoga, and it's another form too, meditation. Meditation is midi action, medit action, tation, medit, midi, the middle connection between you trying to get that energy, you're trying to receive, and you're trying to dispel all type of negative or burnt out stale energy. It's already used. You don't need it. So, receive, accept the breath. Thoughts. Right. And recycle. Same thing. The whole recycling is a recycling process of everything. So I just want to hit y'all with that. I want to say thank you very much. I already told you before. If I did something, said something to you in my travel, you know, may the Lord forgive me. May you forgive me. Anything I did, anything I said that went to your life. Because now it's a new day. Every day is a new day. As long as I say it today and mean it and don't do it again, I think that my sins will be forgiven. And if you don't forgive me, okay, but you're the judge, but there is greater judges too. Just imagine who created all of this. We're in the likeness of the Creator. But the likeness of something is not that something. The essence of it is the reason for you to identify the good things, the everlasting ways to be, to represent that, the breath of life. It's a privilege to have the breath of life. It's a privilege to be able to use this communications to speak to you, that you can speak to others and be instrumental. So you can be that instrument of the term analogy of special, that Christ, like that body, that the unit, the togetherness, the body of the special powers that we inherited through our bloodline and shared it with those who are not of the bloodline. And those same people that's not of the bloodline, they could be from another planet. But you don't know that yet. It's a lot of things. When you with Christ, a lot of information. It's yours by what we call birthrights. And this is why we come together. And we build, that's the terminology we say, we build in the membrane. So we'll be able to expand our frequency and get stronger in the mental transferring of thoughts. This is how it goes. You did, and you here, and it's all good. And the things that is what it's about now, and it's about you. You looking good, you feeling well, you seeing with the accomplishments that you have done, the mistakes that you have done. It's okay. Brush yourself off, keep it moving. You know, don't beat yourself up about nothing. You know, life is very special. You are very special. You know, I got a couple of names. I got a young preacher youngster, Yippee. You know, I think I want to get that when I get a little closer to finishing again. You know, not sure. And, Prophet Holy Dance. I like that one. Prophet Holy Dance. I like that. And the Holy Dance, I think I'm gonna do Prophet Holy Dance. Prophet Holy Dance. And introduce the B and split the B in half, the capital B, and get two D's. Mm-hmm. The two D's, it got to be Damon and Dana. Got to be. But it's for the thing of the elimination, termination, ET. It's called the Death Dance. Yeah. And I will be marking in that, the Death Dance. It's just a small, angelic way of dealing with undesirables, you know, because the culture, the culture of T.C.O.U.S.A, the culture of T.C.O.U.S.A. The culture of T.C.O.U.S.A will be identified by the package or the clothing. It will stay T.C.O.U.S.A. And through reputation of, the healing and the wellness and who we are is just a wonderful thing. We just have to be who we are. And sometimes, it's like at the spur of the moment. Yeah, oh, and okay, and I taught you that next time. Stuff like that. People be like, what? What's going on? But this is me. It's a process of change, evolutionary process. It can be seen by those who are involved in that process. But the other ones got to, they may not ever see it because sometimes their mind click off and they stuck on, we say stuck on stupid, but we don't want to call nobody stupid. So we say they stuck on silly. That's better than stupid. So they stuck on silly, acting like a bully, and you can't tell them nothing. You can't tell nobody nothing from New York. It's a nice place to be, to live, to visit, good people. It's a nice place to be at. But you can't tell people in New York and you ain't from New York or you ain't been there in a while. So what you talking about? I don't really want to know. It don't concern me like that. That's why you have a DNA. It'll trickle down. That situation, wherever it is, in that location, wherever it be, will be dealt with, ter- terminated, because righteousness will always be. That's how we go. Every generation. When you see people dying, and you say, well, what is that? You don't know? That's because you never ask. You never ask what happens after death. You never thought about it because you're going too fast. You think you know it, and you don't. They got surveys, and they can tell people how old their mental is. And I'm not gonna go there with y'all with that. I just want y'all to know that it's a known fact that the things that you do and will ever do will accumulate to a very, very low age. And that's it. So who's to be the judge? Because that's how you was programmed to be. That's how you was created to be. You are a human being. Some of you are from the children of angels, and we call y'all Elohim. Now that has been said. Some of you do not have the same programming in the DNA in the brain part to absorb certain things of light, particles of light that is sent out daily 24/7 constantly from sense in between, and everybody is not privileged to. So they say in the writings that you can't go past your five senses of seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and feeling, and the extrasensory perception, which is called ESP, which will give you an advantage to travel, not walking, flying, but traveling on your etheric cord, which is not seen by your sensors of seeing with the eyes. This is not that you can't see it. See this. This is a whole dimensional difference in the next and the same that people cannot get to, but only by way of those who pre-exist in thinking that was given the authority that is called priest, and they called it the priesthood. Just like the ghetto, they called it a hood because it was part of the political process, the policies of the process of maintaining a capitalistic people, captives that they call citizens. And then they have those that control, let's say, controllers, let's say, may send actor senators, mayors, judges, all these are people in the brain part of the entity of this creation in their movement of how they want to utilize this force of vibration of sound, commands, speech, language. So now here we are. How do we going to conform to the teachings of those who have been ruling over you for hundreds of years? See, what are you going to do? So, well, why do I talk about that? You say why, and I already said why not. Already did. Done deal. So I just keep on talking. It's our time to shine. That's what I'm talking about. What you talking